You done went and took a poop because now you're like a bat out of Spangladash. Get off the Thames. Retarded, bro. Get off the magazine. You retarded, bro. Come on, get off of that. Go. Yeah. Too funny, bro. You was too funny, man. Try and grab my foot one more time. What I tell you the other day? You left my foot alone, and then you wanted to come and try and bite my toe this morning. Leave my foot alone, man. That's from the light, Papa. You standing up, looking at the light. You just loving your standing up thing now, huh? Al. you in a little bit. Gotta start. Okay, we all know there was two distinct races, so-called, established. Right. Now, I'm gonna go to as far as the 1400s, but we know that that narrative was created in the late 1700s by France, whatever his name is, right? 1900s, right? I talked about it. I don't like to remember all that crap. But we know that they illuminated to the 1400s based upon let's get the numbers. Let's get the numbers. They're made up numbers, okay? 60 million in 1492. All right? Indigenous people, 1492. What I want to express is in Mongolia, excuse me, in the 12 to 1700s, there was only 8,000, which ended up being 600,000 because of the wars. Mongolia, the whole. So to the 17th, from the 16 to 1700s, all Mongolia whole, Mongolians in whole, was 800, close to 1 million. Well, who's the other 59,200,000? Or 59 million? Who are they? Now we know the Oxford Dictionary in 2016, who was president, changed the narrative, and they did it preceding that. They started to change, and when Obama's second term, because I read up on it, where it was two distinct races, and it was white and black, and then and it changed when Obama got in there. It was the indigenous or Indian red people, and then the Afro or African American, second greatest population, which we know that was a lie, because we know how long it's been going on, that we stayed at one level, but they had a problem with us having babies out of wedlock and everything else. Crazy numbers up until now. But they're saying the Spanish outnumber us, which is bull, because majority of them are Negroes, regardless of how you look at it. I know a whole bunch of them, Afros and everything, and you call them, you from Hispaniola, punch in your mouth. They're like, nah, man, I'm right here on my soil. I know my great-grandma, my grandma, no. And then you have the idiot, who always on the idiot box and everywhere else. No. Like I said before, if you're Latin, all right, if you call yourself Latin, and it ain't the ancient Latin, lascivious, whatever. No, we're talking about Espanol. Then you're more. Because that's who came up on our shores and did a whole lot of fighting against us. But at the same time, many broke away, married. Regardless of how it may have played out, there was no Mongolian. Two distinct races. There was no Mongolian. Them little tiny ass numbers y'all got don't amount for nothing nowhere. And you can look at right now, what's the number of Mongolians in history right now in the world? $10 to 11 million. I told you, they're Gog. The Ashkenazis are Magog. One had the nerve when I was out there, and you saw the little video I did, which should have bound to the, I said bound to the earth, bound to the floor, you know, which is called H. Dude looked at me all retarded, and I got out the truck and looked right at him, and his vehicle says, I said like this, because it's not feelings. I'm addressing what needs to be addressed. I said, what the fuck you looking at? You remember me from the reservation or something? You on my soil, nigga. I said it just like that, because I wanted to incite something. And he looked down. Looked straight down. And this half looking, one looked like he wanted to be Mexican, was sitting over there, and he got up like he was gonna come over this way. And so I walked over right directly towards him. The door's right here, like, you know, with my eyes like blank, like, and he put his phone in his pocket, so that means his manhood's half gone, and he started walking towards Blimpies. I'm not playing. I've had enough of the shindigs, man. I don't give a damn, you know? I got respect for a lot of folk, but unless you don't have respect for yourself, you damn sure ain't gonna get it from me. You're gonna get it trifold, exactly what you looping at. I don't fear death, bro. See, there's a difference between those who do and those who don't, and those who cower down and the yellow streak and all that. If that's your case, then you be right there. I got something for that. My thing is, I would like to see things change. And I'm tired of talking about it. And I'm tired of these fools marching about it. And all these idiots who get in their feelings about Charleston White or this, that, and other. All you emotional Negroes. Man, I'm talking about the men right now. All right? They get into your little broken ass, don't you know why you feel the way you do and can't shut yourselves up. And then you get these hypers. You know, I'm just locked up for murder, and I'll shut up. I was looking like that idiot who shot the rapper. All right? I was watching that. 19-year-old knucklehead. Shot him for what? And they're going to rap about it? Do y'all see the brokenness of the children? And you can't lie about how it came to be. My thing is to get to the root of the evil and fix it. Oh, we can fix a whole lot of stuff. Problem is, most people who can do the fixing, you're too damn lazy to do the fixing. You don't know how to. You're too cowardice. But you run your mouth. You'll do this. You'll do this all day long. I'm tired of the we Indian shit. We're beyond that. I hate that term Indian too. I really do. That's their fucking narrative. Excuse my French. That's their friggin' narrative. I gotta work on that. All right. How much a bunch of losers, barely even 3% of the Earth's population, gonna name any damn thing. So that's what gets me. And then people talk about, believe you see the numbers. Oh man, get man. Listen here. You got two mugs that had an embracing kiss, had war with each other, and one was a comedian, an actor. And all of a sudden the president goes to war. Then Russia sending a bunch of people, obviously aren't soldiers. Is that the way of them getting rid of the numbers, bringing the numbers down to take civilians and put uniforms on them and give them guns and put them out there? Russians ain't gonna sit in a hole waiting for somebody to drop friggin' drones, big drones, drop mortars on them. No, that ain't the Russian soldier. That ain't the Russian soldiers I know. The ones I met, no, man, they gonna come head first, and no matter how many, like Vietnamese, how many get shot, they're gonna keep coming. And they're very logistical and they're well trained. So whatever we seeing with them old World War II helmets, they got helmets like ours. What are they doing out there with them old tin helmets looking like they fighting in Afghanistan again? This is amazing, because if y'all look at any videos of Russia fighting in Afghanistan, it was never no lay down in some hole, stand up beside a wall or something. They was always pushing forward, even when they get in their behinds, like the French Foreign Legion getting their behinds handed to them. I am so tired of what's going on, and now you got people talking about World War III, wars and rumors of wars. War's going to happen. We have war right now, but the blind, lascivious don't even see it. Everybody thinks they're so super educated, and I'm like sitting here going, well, where's that at? What education? You know what education means to me? A dumbing down, a constraint, a refrain, what do you call it? Restraints of sorts, to restrain you, not to allow you to blossom and bloom. That's what I believe education is to me. You know, when you see me reading, or you see me talking about certain things, and I'm all in all these different PDFs and all these other, different vices right now. Studying doesn't mean that I'm educated or well educated. No, I don't want to be well educated. I just want to be have the knowledge of knowing. That's it. When I look at this stuff, and I'm going 10 to 11 million. I got a friend in Mongolia who told me who these guys are. It's well known with a number of people. No wonder the meths was dropped off over there in such a great number. Let me tell you about these Ashkenazis. They don't care about their kinfolk, their real ones, the ones they've been utilizing to fight these wars. What they did was have them amalgamate into all these different races and then betray the people from internal and inside. We have a bunch of them here doing that. And they've been doing that. And then you have those who sided with him. Somebody says, hey, man, what do you think about Mike Tyson? I says, Mike Tyson got a family. He done walked this road. I said, if you are talking about would he betray everybody, if he was offered a chance to go and be saved from what everything was going on, I said, I believe he would. He always feel like he's going to die, but the thing is, I couldn't really answer that. But I feel personally that he would, because of his family. And that's what we deal with. We deal with that a lot. In this world, we deal with that a whole bunch. People want to betray not just the people on their block, but in their family, believing that they're going to be all right. And when you betray life, you are never going to be all right. Never. Never. I was getting ready to cook something. I was going to take y'all and show you. I said, no, I said I was going to read. It was a little late. I came back. My package is in Nevada. There's snow up there that's out the yang. Y'all hear me? And it's that bad. All right. I told him I don't care if I get it next week. The lady was laughing, going, "You might get it next month." I said, "No, you don't. No, it's 62 degrees outside right now. We know what the fluctuation of weather is because it's hyperbaric whatever they call it in the sky, whatever they're naming it. It's a manipulation. It's setting up for the next practical application of the agenda, whether you believe it or not. I mean, we can get a tornado rip through here and tear everything up. You know, a level 5. What do they call that? Well, you know what I'm talking about. Mile-long tornado. It can happen anywhere. So, what percentage of the world is Mongolian? 0.04. Let me pull this up for you right quick. So they're saying there's about 8 billion people in the world. With the Chinese and Hindus together, it's 2.8 billion, right? So they're saying the white alone percent is 75.8. We know that's a bunch of hypocrite bullshit. We know black or African American alone percentage is 13.6. That's a hypocritical lie. Female persons percentage is 50.5%. Okay, let me finish up here. With this is their lies. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay. No, I don't want to do the census because census is a lot. I don't take census. I know millions of cats that don't take the census. All right. Yes, you ask. They say African population is equivalent to 16.72% of the total population of the world. In 2021, 40.1 million of people in the United States were non-Hispanic, black alone, which represent 12.1% of the total population of 331.9 million blacks. African Americans are the second largest minority population in the United States, which is a lie. And they want you to believe that, oh my goodness, the white is made up the, you know what, outside of the crayon colors, we know who keeps coming over here. You know how many people, Palestinians come here every year, are dual citizens, who are not even born or native to this land, okay? Oh, they include whites. When they say whites, they include Arabs, Africans. This is the funny thing, Africans. I know a bunch of New York and Delaware and New Jersey who I saw their cards, their visas, and some of their green cards had white on it. So what is the game? Hold on. Southwood in Georgia, they say, has 80% black residents out of 100,000 population. Well, let's do the math. If that's the case, New York, Delaware, Detroit, Chicago, San Francisco, LA, Texas, Louisiana, Louisiana, St. Louis, Kentucky. You see what just happened over there in Alabama and all them places with these racist ass cops. Now all of a sudden DOJ got something to say. They're saying something because they're watching us. And we're pulling a bullshit. And that's why I keep telling y'all how it's important for y'all to come together. It's not to sit there and embark on, this desolation of reprimandable to go and harm and hurt Palestinians. It's because a lot of y'all need to sit your ass down and listen and learn some truth, regardless of whether you got some African in you or not. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you got some European, so-called, these narratives of social disparities, of division and all this other crazy shit. I was having a conversation with a wonderful young lady, and I says, you know, it's funny how they got people sitting there talking about extraterrestrial. You know what terrestrial is? Terra is what? Land. Extra means more. That means more land. You paying attention? That's what it means, more land. It don't mean somewhere else. When they say alien, those who are here with the mindset based on undoing the natural. That's what's alien. You are alien to your truth, alienated. Has nothing to do with some spooky doogity boogity flying around in some damn unidentified or what was that song? Foo Fighter. It's not what it means. Word logistics is something else. Silent weapons for silent wars. I mean, how many times we got to embark on that? Two distinct races. And they both were Negroid. We're going to get to some reading here in a minute. Okay? So, watch how the numbers change. In America, it says 46,936,733. Brazil, 46,584,218. Haiti, 9,925,365. Colombia, 3,671,160, including multiracial. Now they want to say multiracial there. That's just comical. Okay? Yemen, 3,500,000. Saudi Arabia, 3,370,000. France, for those who don't identify as Arab. France, 3 million. That's a bunch of bullshit. Jamaica, 2,501,000. That's very. United Kingdom, 2,456,488 with all them Somalis, South Africans, Nigerians, and everybody else that went there over the last 20 years. You got to kiss my butt. Mexico, 1,386,556 million. That's for those who identify in the blue areas and stuff like that as black. That is not the truth. This is what I'm talking about, man. Listen, man. And Canada, listen to Spain. This is one that cracks me up. They said 1,206,701, 79% being North African. Canada, 1,198,540. Italy, 1,140,000. Dominican Republic, this one right here blows me my lid. These are motherfuckers who identify as black. Well, the other ones who are just as fucking black. Most of the Dominican Republic, I've been there. 1,138,427. Ecuador, 1 million. I want you to put these numbers together and think about the number I gave you before, which is roughly a lie. Puerto Rico, 1 million. Pure bullshit. Cuba, 1,034,000. Okay. Peru, 828,000. Trinidad, Tobago. How many black folks? 452,536. You got to be. The Andros Islands is all. Come on, man. Australia, 380,000. Barbados, 270,000. Pakistan, 250,000. Guyana, 225,860. Suriname, 200,406. Argentina, 149,493. Grenada, 108,700. Turkey, 100,000. Russia, 50,000. You know how many pale skins I know? And as a community, I don't know them all. Between Florida, Georgia, Carolinas, all the way up to New York, Detroit, because of their relatives, because they know what their so-called birth certificate said, black and Negro on it, who are pale skin. But they go and sign the thing saying white. Why? Because of a certain privilege. And they'll sit up in your face. I know country rappers. I even did a video of one who can pass for it, but you know, he holds on to his black and African. You know, Funny Red. He's mixed, multiracial, but he identifies as black. See, a lot of people didn't take the census because a lot of people became aware of what it was about. It was a head count, like a chicken coop. like a farm. The census ain't got nothing to do with reality or truth. The numbers they placate and put out there is to create statuses, to create a narrative, to paint an ugly picture, and to make some feel better or less or greater or whatever. That's why I tell people to leave these things alone, because they're complete fallacies, they're lies. The Mongolians, I know there's more than that. There's a lot of pale skins running around in the soil right now. Y'all seen them with the little Asiatic guys? They got a little eye blood and some other, and they run around, don't even know they're Mongolian or mongrel. That's why I tell people, if you're gonna study something, make sure you know a little more than the nonsense they're putting out there. All right? If y'all took the census, any of y'all took the census in a feel-good manner, like I'm a slave, I'm gonna get reparations, you're an idiot. I'm gonna go ahead and get into this reading because I'm getting tired of talking about things that people with common sense would just know better, man. I'm not a person that feels hopeless for all people. I'm not a person, because I know some things, but I gotta express myself. I gotta speak on some stuff. All right. 2 distinct races, because they Negroes in South America, whatever, don't mean that we all look alike or different. It means that there's different individuals. When we can go to Wichita Islands or whatever in the Caymans, we can go and see all the black, dark skin. I hate the word black. I'm just using that for communication, right? Communication purposes. Who are as dark as green or blue, who have blonde hair, blue eyes, hazel eyes, gray eyes, okay? And this is a fact, man. And it's not just there, it's all over the earth. I grew up with people who got good hair. They call it good hair. I don't call it good hair. It's a wavy, straight hair. My hair is pretty damn decent, y'all. But it ain't like that. And I don't want it like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a thing. It's not a big thing. The enemy made it a thing. You know what I'm saying? Create motherfucking, what did I say? Different statuses, different classes. You know, we can accept you. We don't want nothing to do with you. Dig what I'm saying? But I grew up with people with green and gray eyes, or blue eyes, darker than me, wavy, straight hair. Ain't nothing Hindu about them, nothing at all. You know, the problem is, and it ain't like there's a whole bunch of pale skins in the family. That's not what did it. It's natural. But it's a deficiency. And people have a hard time dealing with that reality. Everything's chemical. They've been poisoning us from the get up, and nobody's been paying attention. Nobody. And even with that knowledge, none of y'all want to come together. I just can't. I had one person say, well, why don't you come where I'm at? Why the fuck I want to come around your dumb, lazy ass? Why would I want to come to where you at and you ain't worth shit? You still worried about a bag, $1? Your whole thought process is meaningless. It's not for the cultivation of the light within a person. You're so outside material. How can we extrapolate and build upon something? We can't do that. We can't do that. I don't want to come nowhere with none of y'all at. You know, I'm telling y'all to come over here, and if something happened, we fall, then we fall together. I wanted to say this because I didn't say it, and I always do that, and my apologies. I wanted to say to Alton Smiley, I appreciate that. Brother hit us up. He blessed us with it, so we got a few dollars. It's not enough. We can probably get 2 books, but the books I want to get, I told you, I reached what I'm matching with, and I'm holding on. I got to keep my $500 deductible, and y'all know I had to send Knucklehead a couple $100. You know how it is when you have children, and I ain't talking about the ones in Florida, and not my daughter, because she'll, like I said, I told her what she needed to do, and I believe she's doing it, because I haven't talked to her in a week. Just a hey in the morning message, and hey Pop, love you, because she knows we and her. She knows who I am and how I am. Now, a friend of mine down the street, I'm not gonna say his name. He looked like he Irish twat, like a pale skinned. Anyways, he's a short ex-army, and I was talking with her on the phone. I don't like nobody to hear her talk. And she said right out of her mouth before we hung up, Pop, I can send you that 2.5 million right now. He looked at me like this. Baby, don't say that on the phone. Oh, I forgot. You know, I love you, Dad. All right, later. Hung up. He was looking at me like that. And every time I see him now, he's like this. Like, no, nigga, I'm not getting it and I'm not giving you nothing. No. I'm a very strong person. My continent is stronger now, but I don't want to do that. No, I'd rather be out here with y'all. If something happened, it happened. It's like 2012. If the big old 1,000-foot mile high wave come, let's hug each other, man, and it's all right. If I can be that common factor, what we gonna do? Pee and poop ourselves? That's gonna happen after we go on physically anyway. When we're gonna be fish bait or whatever, or slammed up against some rocks or something and buried, dug out a million years later. I don't know. I'm not worried about that. You dig what I'm saying? How can you worry for worry? When worry worries for itself, and even then, it's not really worrying. Our people you've got to litigate and change the way you think, regardless of what idiots are saying or what they're perpetrating. If they want to remain idiots instead of becoming all-inclusive in the family and learning some damn truth for the first time in their life, and if they choose not to, let them be where they at. What's going to happen is all these government, once people are dying, they're going to say, no, we got to get the guns, the Second Amendment is done, we're going New World Order. That's what's going to happen. It don't matter, guns and gadgets, Black Scouts survive, any of them. Angry Pepper in New York, it don't matter. Now, we was all together. Could I go and purchase 40, 60 acres? Of course, and I'd be telling y'all to come on. I'd be like, y'all need to come on, pack up your shit and come on. Because I'm family oriented like that. I'm a Southerner, I'm a country boy. I'm old engine. A botanist, however we want to say it. I'm like that. I'm built like that. I'm not going to tell you to go over to North Carolina and Old Town West Salem. Let's go over there. The land's perverted. Wherever we go is where we establish on this damn soil. It belongs to us, and we belong because we belong to it. But y'all are so stuck in a world of lies. You refuse to free yourself. I don't know how many times I slept and traveling with my grandma, my nanas, or my great grandma, South, whatever, Midwest, and sleeping on floors in the living rooms, all is children everywhere, running around getting ate up with mosquitoes and playing in the backyard swamps, catching catfish in the holes and pulling them out. I don't know how many times. All right, let me go ahead and get, again, Optin Smiley and Susan, y'all know, sent me the 50 a few days ago, and he hit me up the other day, 20. I appreciate it. I don't just say the numbers. I'm saying them anyway. Whatever. It's fiat. Y'all act like y'all gonna get rich. I'm gonna go and get 2 ounces of weed back in the day for like $25. $30, and I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna make $100 off of nickel and dime bags. I got some joints I rolled on the side, so I'm gonna sell some loosies, at $1, knowing good and well they ain't worth but about 20, 30 cents. This is how we used to hustle back in the day. Like, you really gonna come up, you're gonna go walk by a store. We ain't had that Farmer Mill shit. But anyway, you're gonna walk. A lot of people, that's what their dress was in the 90s, to look something. So anyway, and they had my aunt one somebody stole from the military and put it up there and got rich, and here I am looking like an idiot because I didn't know no better than to keep my shit covered and hidden. So anyway, walk by the store and be like, yo, check out, oh dude, I want no damn Jordans. Check out them Nikes, yo, check out them Adidas, yo, they got the best baby blues. Dog, $35, I'm getting them. Check out the Kango. That's how we was. Though I made a pack, you know what I'm saying? I knew what I was doing. I had a house. Wasn't calling no damn trap house, stash house. Anyway, that was a long time ago, man. You dig what I'm saying? I'm going to get this reading on because I'm about to go downstairs. I'm going to be cooking. I'm letting my organic dough I made thaw out a little bit. It's not a lot of bread. It's kind of like a pie crust, but
I got all my vegetables chopped up. I got to chop my onion up and my celery, and then put all the carrots and the zucchini and all that, and squat everything together. Pop it in the bread crust, and mix a little coconut water with coconut flour. I got to put it in the blender to get it the right consistency, with an egg or two, because I like my eggs. I don't give a damn. But everything is pretty raw and fresh. And then I'm going to pour that with the cream of mushroom soup I made with coconut flour and ghee. I made a gravy. I popped mushrooms in there. I had to buy 2 packs, and it's ready to pour in there. And that's it. And I'm going to pop it in the oven at 400 for 15 minutes. Let the crust hook up and heat up with the fake diet cheese, just mozzarella. And I'll let you see it when it's plated. You know? Let's get this reading on, man. If only people would just do right for once. Appreciate the donations. When I get to the right number, match it, we'll get some more books. They're taking longer for, I guess, because of everything, derailments. There's a whole bunch of things going on. There's a couple more places that caught on fire that y'all gonna see. Them pantries gonna be empty. Even a survival food place, man. Not Patriot. What's the other one that caught on fire? They really hitting them, man, y'all. Anywho, let me read, man. I worry about y'all, man. I do. I ain't gonna lie. What am I supposed to do? I'm almost this so-called 57. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to feel? Am I supposed to be running around acting like some little young gooper? We created the dress thing. We didn't create the old weird stuff. And we wasn't all about these goofy Tommy Boy and all that other crap. Let me turn this a little more, man. Nice background music. I know it's soothing and calming. And this voice right now I got is like, yeah, because this is I don't know what the females is how I talk. And they can vouch for it. You know what I'm saying? Brothers, so excuse me. This voice ain't for you, motherfucker. This is manly shit. No. Let's get into it. Now I'm talking a little too sideways. Chapter 3. First epoch. Oh, excuse me, guys. This is George Jones, An Original History of Ancient America. Illibron Classics, okay? Chapter 3. First epoch. The Tyrian era before Christ. 332 years. The landing in Mexican, i.e. Central America, of the ancient Tyrians of Phoenicia. And when we say Phoenicia, that's the original as far as the G and the Omex. That is who we are. You have a hard time dealing with that? It's not my problem. We never really went anywhere. We occupied many lands, from the Anu Islands, during the Ming Dynasty of Alanstan, South America, the Canary Islands, all over the place. Cuba, if they want this name, we're going to call it right now. There's other names for that land. I have a book exclusively going back several hundred years to 2 millennia of names, and none of these new names from the 16th to the 20th century existed. Anyway, the buildings of the cities, temples, and pyramids, the ruins of which have lately been discovered. Arrangement of facts and arrangements of the present volume. In the endeavor to establish this important epoch, recourse must be had to the same train of argument as that used in the preceding pages. So we can visit those. We already went over that. That where the written law does not exist, that which is unwritten must be brought forward as evidence to support and sustain conclusions. And to this must be added the powerful witness of strong and perfect analogy. For the essential purposes of identity, believing that the reader is convinced that the natives of North America are of a distinct race to those inhabiting the other portions of the continent, as already illustrated by the contracts in their religious and political policies, and even by their physical analogies, the necessity now arises of completely identifying those of Mexican America And we went by a chapter back. We know that Mexico is a created name. I have that book right there. It's not even in there as far as the landmass, maps and everything. It's not. That's 1490. That's 1939. It has a statement about it, but it's not there. Okay. And even by their physical analogies, the necessity now arises of completely identifying those of Mexican America as we have slightly those of the North, sufficient, however, for the division of the races. In the preceding title of the first epoch of this history is not only stated the nation from whence they came, but even the year in which they landed, to support these starting assertions, to make their truth apparent to the reader, to convince his understanding and crush all doubts, that even history may place the volume within her archives and requires a basis of argument which shall be rock built. I mean, solid, people. All right. That the superstructure about to be raised, while it invites, may yet resist to be torn down. That means to lie, not to defy, in parentheses. The storms and shafts of criticism, but as a strong cemented edifice requires the warm influence of the sun to secure the component parts, space, so do we look for the sun smile from the just and mild eye of the true critic, which will not, and that's why I can deal with that, which will not glance upon only one part of the composition, but view each as required to form the consistency of the entire building. And you know what that means. Can't have a foundation with weak walls. And when the edifice is finished, whether the entablature will remain blank or bear our humble name is not for us to determine or command. Yet in reference to the latter and natural hope, the sentiment of the senator of Utica will direct us in space, that if we cannot command success, at least we will endeavor to deserve it. The following investigation and arrangements of argument are required for the check this out, elucidation of this epoch. That's all it means. And then from the summary of evidence, and from that only, the reader, as a jury, will form his verdict. And we can visit that statement going back 2 chapters. It doesn't give numbers. You need to remember what you were reading. 1. Are the fine arts of sufficient authority to be received as evidence for establishing historical records or events? Number 2. The fact that the discovery of the ruined cities of Mexican America, their description, locality, pardon me, and character established. Number 3. The religious and national analogies and traditions between the ancient Tyrians and the Mexican Aborigines will be investigated and their identity established. Number 4, the Mexican innovations upon the customs of the Tyrians will be explained. Who's going to put in something there to explain what the Tyrians are? Tyriane. Okay? And this is S, no ES at the end. Okay, excuse me. Number 5, the general history of Phoenicia, but especially the political and commercial history of the kingdom of Tyrus. Its rise and fall analyzed. We know about Scythians. We know that they were black, melanated. And number 6, and who are the sellers besides Magellan? And it says, oh, they are of Hebrew stock. All right, we're going to leave that alone. 6, not pale skin. 6, the cause of the Tyrian migration to the Western Hemisphere. The means whereby and the date wherein it was accomplished. The means of concealing the secret of their discovery of the Western continent from the Asiatics and Europeans. Excuse me, let me read that again. The means of concealing the secret of their discovery of the Western continent from the Asiatics and Europeans. Number 7, the building of the first altars, temples, pyramids, and palaces, in which have remained as unknown in the history of the world for full 2,150 years. Number 8, the new discovery of the fulfillment of 5 additional prophecies by Isaiah, identified and established by the proofs of the Tyrian epoch of this history of ancient America. Number 9, a recapitulation of the entire subject and summary of the various evidences of the truth of the Tyrian theory, founded upon analogies, traditions, and history and prophecy. And lastly, the fulfillment of the Tyrian prophecies of Isaiah in the Western Hemisphere also establishes, and now it states in parentheses, with the division of the Aborigines into two races, Tyrian and Israelitish, and their conquerors. End. The actual accomplishment of Noah's malediction and his prophecy of the human family. These astounding and new discovered facts will form a concluding chapter for the complete annihilation of atheistical, I hate those words, a denial of prophetic truths. These prophetic facts are not essential to the support of this history. They are but the seals to the document. I told you to look him up. This motherfucker was a master mason, illuminated one, whatever the fuck you want to call him. If you didn't look him up, that ain't my problem. I'm going to read this halfway through. Original History, Ancient America, Chapter 4. The Fine Arts as Author Rights for Historical Records, Investigated and Established, Section 1. If it were possible to place within an Ephesian temple every historic book, manuscript, and engraving in the world, and then the sacrilegious torch of a modern Erostratus should entirely consume them. Erostratus, your ideology, whatever you want to call it, whereby the only apparent knowledge to be obtained would be from tradition. Space. Yet the marble and stone quarries of the earth have issued those volumes, composed and fashioned by the hands of man, that would restore the progressive history of the arts and civilization. Architecture has erected his lofty temples, palaces, and mansions, and sculpture has with her magic wand charmed and adorned them with historic facts, legends, and romance. Now you see the importance of blowing up and destroying all the Tartarian buildings. The former plan, the particles, columns, and proportions. Columns, you hear it? But the latter was the power whereby they were fashioned and embellished. Architecture, by his peculiar characteristic, gives intelligence as we wander amid his works, that we are on the land of Egypt, are the plains of Pastum, on the Acropolis of Athens, or the land of Romulus, and the Colosseum. I told you we had one here that rivaled it. Theirs, their fake one. Well, their old one, excuse me, that's broken down and shattered. And whether we gaze upon the sky-pointing pyramid, the stern, or the graceful Doric, the Ionic of the Eleusis, or the scanthus-crowned Corinthian, they, one and all, have voices of oracular power, proclaiming to the classic scholar the nation from whence they arose to life and beauty. Even the horizontal and curved lines of architecture have their special records, for they state the time in the history of the arts when they were erected, even without a sculptured cipher. For the level lines of the Cyclopean and Egyptian walls, with their attendant apertures, give certain knowledge that they were erected before the principles of the Grecian arch was known or practiced. Sculpture has a more harmonious voice than that of her stern consort, the graceful bride whose rock-ribbed cradle amid the Parian hills, whose virgin youth reposed, this guy's getting artistic here, reposed upon, almost allusive to a poem, reposed upon the halcyon marble of Pentelicus. It stood out at me, guys, I'm sorry. Has a voice of warm yet chaste simplicity. Her tones are as sweet as from lips first nourished on Hymettus hill. Yet at times they speak with all the solemnity of her consort, around whom she fondly clings, and the ivy around the oak, like that plant and tree. The sculpture vine preserves for ages the character of the marble monarch of the arts, even after no doubling. Come on, dude. Oh, his his broad spreading papers thick, spreading authority has been broken and humbled to the earth by time and desolation. While these two destroying powers may be viewed as the Reagan and the gonorrhea, while architecture is the lyre and sculpture the Cordelia of the arts. Even as a note of music struck from a chord of nature vibrates to the heart. You heard that? In like manner does the voice of sculpture reach and echo around the walls of life. It is poetry's diapason. It speaks of God and his works, of man in his intellect and glory, of woman in her charity and beauty. It speaks a language which the unlettered may translate. The unlettered, you know what that means, right? Unlearned. While to her more subdued are secret tones, the disciples of her heavenly power have but to listen or behold her action of utterance, as developed in her free or drapered limbs, dressed, to give the history of her thoughts, nor have those thoughts or attitudes chaste as the marble they inhabit, ever been conquered by lust or luxury. That unworthy conquest was reserved for the false disciples of her faith, yet not ever herself, but her fair handmaid painting. But architecture and sculpture have lived on, severe and chaste, stern and graceful, majestic and beautiful, as when they were first created from the Eden of the mind. No sword or wrath has driven them forth to wander as outcasts, but as messengers of peace they have visited every clime, every climatic, every place. And they have raised their temples and cities in every land, subjected to one power only, the insatiate monster of the earth, time, space, the twin born with creation, and who will be the last mourner of nature and her name. Yet even with their children have been struck down like Neobes by the shafts of fate, still how beautiful in ruins, although prostrate upon the earth, yet even in death they have voices as speaking from the tomb. But the parents still live on, ever young and immortal, and can point to be to the proud remains of their fallen children, and with the voice of historic truth proclaim their fateless epitaph and character. Egypt, my firstborn and consort of the Nile, while the pyramids and temples shall remain, and they will even to the final tempest of the world. Thou shalt be identified from among all the nations of the earth. Athens, my favorite daughter, until the rock of the Acropolis shall fall, thy classic beauties around which have gleamed the meridian splendor of the mind, will proclaim that Minerva, Plato, Pericles, and Thetis, I can't think of his name wrong all the time, Phidias, were thy own. Palmyra, my third joy. Although the wild Arab sleeps within thy roofless dwelling, with the whirling sands for his nightly mantle, yet while thy porticos, arches, and colonnades shall be seen, the city of the desert will live in memory, for the spirits of Longinus and Zenobia will be there. Rome, my warrior son, thy ancient glory lives in the recorded evidence of thy parents' art. For amid the ruined columns of thy form glide the spectral forms of Romulus, Junius, Virginius, Brutus, Cato, and of the Cicero. Through thy arches move those of Septimus Vespasian, Titus, and of Constantine. And dost thou not speak to all the world from the solemn historic voice of thy giant Colosseum, but beyond all this, from the ashes of thy former magnificence, like the phoenix upon the spot of martyrdom, thou hast risen in double splendor to the glory of the Savior and the faith of an apostle, and to the triple fame of Amante, Raphael, and Angelo. These are the still living metropolitan records bygone days, from the heathen to the Christian. They cannot be rejected. From them we trace and prove the areas of the world. And we pick up on sculptures. We're getting into the meat. You must go through this walk. It is beautiful, I believe, very subtle. And I love it. Arthur Kessler, the 13th tribe. Now, I already told you that he was murdered in when? 19 what? Him and his wife, so-called, they say, committed suicide together with a little goofy note, not even in his handwriting. Look it up. The games are done. Doesn't matter what they do. Doesn't matter for who's still pouring concrete, forming rebar, pouring concrete. It doesn't matter who they're utilizing of their cousins and everybody else and the dumb Negroes that follow. It doesn't matter from the sciences and everything else, from the CERNs and the things that they walk with and talk with. It doesn't matter. It only needs one vice. One. And it will manifest and change any and everything that has lamented. But the purgatory must exist. That's not for me, people, trust me. No more is heard about Khazar Arab fighting. After the end of the 8th century, as we enter the 9th, the Khazars seem to enjoy several decades of peace. At least there is a little mention of them in the chronicles, and no news is good news in history. The southern frontiers of their country had been pacified. Relations with the Caliphate had settled down to a tacit, non-aggression pact. Relations with Byzantium continued to be definitely friendly. Yet in the middle of this comparatively idyllic period, there is an ominous episode which foreshadowed new dangers. In 833, or thereabouts, the Khazar Khagan and Bek sent an embassy, to the East Roman Emperor Theophilus, asking for skilled architects and craftsmen. So when it says embassy, you know what that means, an ambassador, okay? Just to let you know, I was one in the military for a short period of time. To build them a fortress on the lower reaches of the Don. The emperor responded with alacrity. I can't even pronounce the damn words. It's jumping out at me, y'all, for real. This is weird. Alacrity, excuse me. He sent a fleet across the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov, up the mouth of the Don to the strategic spot where the fortress was to be built. Thus came Sarkel into being, the famous fortress and priceless archaeological site. Archaeological site at that time. That should allude to something, people. Pay attention. Virtually the only one that yielded clues to Khazar history until it was submerged in a Semlyask reservoir adjoining the Volga-Don Canal. Constantine, this word is Porphyrogenous. Porphyrogenitus. That's it. Who related the episode in some detail, says that since no stones were available in the region, Sarkel was built of bricks, burnt in a specially constructed kiln. And he does not mention the curious fact, and it states this in parentheses, discovered by Soviet archaeologists while the site was still accessible. that the builders also used marble columns of Byzantine origin dating from the 6th century and probably salvaged from some Byzantine ruin. Excuse me. A nice example of imperial thrift. The potential enemy against whom this impressive fortress was built by joint Roman Khazar effort were those formidable and menacing newcomers on the world scene. I'm going to read that word again. Porphyrogenitus. Wow, what a name. Anyway, on the world scene, whom the West called Vikings or Norsemen, and the East called Rus or Rojos, or Rus, as in Russians. 2 centuries earlier, the conquering Arabs had advanced on the civilized world in a gigantic pincer movement. It's left, and we know what that's talking about, right? They made a movie or obscured one. Anyway, its left prong reaching across the Pyrenees, its right prongs across the Caucasus. Now, during the Viking Age, history seemed to create a kind of mirror image of the earlier phase. The initial explosion, which had triggered off the Muslim wars of conquest, took place in the southernmost region of the known world, the Arabian Desert. The Viking raids and conquests originated in its northernmost region, Scandinavia, and the Arabs advanced northward by land, the Norsemen southward by sea and waterways. The Arabs were, at least in theory, conducting a holy war, and the Vikings waged unholy wars of piracy and plunder. But the results, as far as the victims were concerned, were much the same. In neither case have historians been able to provide convincing explanations on the economical, ecological, or ideological reasons which transformed these apparently quiescent regions of Arabia and Scandinavia quasi overnight into volcanoes of exuberant vitality and reckless enterprise. Both eruptions spent their force within a couple of centuries, but left a permanent mark on the world. Destruction, y'all. Both evolved in this time span from savagery and destructiveness to splendid cultural achievements by way of who? I've been just saying, it sounded like these people just popped up over here and it was just about war. About the time when Sarkel was built by joint Byzantine Khazar efforts in anticipation of attack by the Eastern Vikings, their western branch had already penetrated all the major waterways of Europe and conquered half of Ireland. Hence the change from the Twa into the things you see now. Within the next few decades, they colonized Iceland, conquered Normandy, and repeatedly sacked Paris. Now, you remember there was many tribes along with the Ashkenazis. Raided Germany, hence the original Germans being displaced, the Rhone Delta, the Gulf of Genoa, circumnavigated the Iberian Peninsula and attacked Constantinople through the Mediterranean and the Dardanelles simultaneously with a Rus attack down the Dnieper and across the Black Sea. As Toynbee wrote, in the 9th century, which was the century in which the Rus impinged on the Khazars and on the East Romans, the Scandinavians were raiding and conquering and colonizing in an immense arc that eventually extended southwestward. Southwestward to North America and southeastwards to the Caspian Sea. Southeastward to the Caspian Sea. No wonder that a special prayer was inserted in the litanies of the West. Affero nominorum libero nos dominium. No wonder that Constantinople needed its Khazar allies as a protective shield against the carved dragons on the bows of the Viking ships, as it had needed them a couple of centuries earlier against the green banners of the Prophet Muhammad. And as on that earlier occasion, the Khazars were again to beat the brunt of the attack and eventually to see their capital laid in ruins. Not only Byzantium had reason to be grateful for the Khazars for blocking the advance of the Viking fleets down the great waterways from the north. We have now gained a better understanding of the cryptic passage in Joseph's letter to Heste, written a century later. With the help of the Almighty, I guard the mouth of the river and do not permit the Rus, who comes in their ships to invade the land of the Arabs. I fight heavy wars with the Rus. Y'all gonna like the next part. Let me get to that. Oh my goodness, the particular brand of the Vikings which the Byzantines called the anticipation. It's making you wait. Here we go. Behold the pale horse, William Cooper. Namaste. That's the little signature. At least that's what they say it is. I've looked it up. I've done yoga for many years. And it's the one that I'm aware of. All right. When we last signed off, it was the secrets of the ages, as far as, the illuminated ones, the guardians of the secrets of the ages. All right. Am I tired? Not really. I'm hungry. And tomorrow I start without eating nothing, just sip some water. So bear with me. Y'all can donate to help get these books. 3 early, I do have. Well, I have a few more that I haven't showed y'all, but I've showed you so many we got read. So 3 early secret societies that can be directly connected to a modern descendant of the cults of Rashaniya, Mithras, and the Mithras. Who remembers Lord of the Rings? Mithra, the speak words. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. All right, Mithras and their counterpart, the builders. They have many things in common with the Freemasons of today, as well as with many other branches of the Illuminati. For instance, common to the Brotherhood of the symbolic rebirth into a new life without going through the portal of death during initiation. References to the lion and the grip of the lion's paw. In the Master Mason's degree, the 3 degrees, which is the same as the ancient Masonic rites before the many other degrees were added. The ladder of 7 rungs, men only, and the all-seeing eye. Of special interest is the powerful society in Afghanistan in ancient times called the Rashaniya, illuminated ones. There are actually references to this mythical cult going back through history to the House of Wisdom at Cairo. And we know these were all Negroes, people. The major tenets of this cult were the abolition, so that doesn't mean go join the shit. Abolition, most people do it in ignorance. Abolition of private property, the elimination of religion, the elimination of nation states, the belief that it was elimination, but now the belief that illumination emanated from the supreme being who desired a class of perfect men and women to carry out the organization and direction of the world. Belief in a plan to reshape the social system of the world by first taking control of individual countries one by one. And we know there's no only thing that would do that is y'all's made up Satan. We know that motherfucker's probably real. Them, they, it doesn't matter. That's a whole other topic. Okay. Belief in a plan to reshape the social system of the world by first taking control of individual countries one by one, and the belief that after reaching the 4th degree, one could communicate directly with the unknown supervisors who had impaired knowledge to initiates throughout the ages. Wise men will again recognize the Brotherhood. And can you hear the echo of the Nazi Party, the Communist Party, the extreme right and the extreme left? The important fact to remember is that the leaders of both the right and the left are a small, hardcore of men who have been and still are illuminists or members of the Brotherhood. They may have been or may be members of the Christian or Jewish religions, but that is only to further their own ends, hiding in plain sight. They are and always have been Luciferian and internationalists. They give allegiance to no particular nation, although they have used, on occasion, nationalism to further their causes. Their only concern is to gain greater economic and political power, and the illuminate objective of the leaders of both groups is identical. They are determined. Hmm. They are determined, a notification. They are determined to win for themselves undisputed control of the wealth, natural resources, and manpower of the entire planet. They intend to turn the world into their conception of a Luciferian totalitarian socialist state. In the process, they will eliminate all Christian Jews and atheists. You have just learned one, but you have just learned one, but only one of the great mysteries. The Rosh Hashanah also called themselves the Order. Initiates took an oath that absolved them of all allegiance except to the Order and stated, I bind myself to perpetual silence and unshaken loyalty and submission to the Order. All humanity, which cannot identify itself by our secret sign, is our lawful prey. The oath remains essentially the same to this day, people. The secret sign was to pass a hand over the forehead, palm inward, and countersign to hold the ear with the fingers, and support the elbow in the cup hold other hand. What? In a cup other hand. Does that sound familiar? The order is the order of the quest. The quote preached that there was no heaven, no hell, only a spirit state completely different from life as we know it. The spirit could continue to be powerful on earth, though a member of the order, but only if the spirit had been itself a member of the order before its death. Thus, members of the order gain power from the spirits of the dead members. The Rosh Hashanah took in travelers as initiates and then sent them on their way to fund new chapters of the order. It is believed by some that that the assassins were a branch of the Rosh Hashanah. Branches of the Rosh Hashanah, or the Illuminate ones, or the Illuminati, existed and still exist everywhere. One of the rules was not to use the same name and never mention the Illuminati. That rule is still in effect today. I believe that it is the breaking of this rule that resulted in Adam Weishaupt's downfall. I'm going to look him up. This is the last part right here. One of the greatest secrets of the ages is the true story of the Holy Grail, the robe of Yeshua, this Jesus character, right? I told you it's different, but anyway, the remains of the cross of crucifixion, pure fabrication, is his belief, and whether Jesus actually died or if he survived and produced a child. Many myths surround the Knights Templar concerning these relics, and most myths throughout history always have at least some basis in fact. If my sources are correct, the Knights Templar survive today as a branch of the Illuminati, Jesuit order, Black Pope, and guard the relics, which are hidden in a location known only to them. And y'all know that in the fake ass Vatican is over 50 miles of our world's history kept away from everybody. You dig what I'm saying? And it's a sad thing. Anyway, I'm hungry. I'm going to give shout outs and I'm going to fix this food because it should be ready to go ahead and get everything in there and plate it and press my hands with olive oil and get it in the oven so I can sit up and enjoy this wonderful friggin' meal because I'm going to bed early tonight. It's a good thing that I'm doing that because I need to. Body heals a lot better when you do these things. And my toe feels real good. I was walking straight up because when you start walking kind of a little funny with a bad toe, you start affecting your back, your knee, your everything. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I'm chilling, man. Oh, I love my pillows. I'm about to change my linen, though. I got like 3 of these red ones, man. So I'm going to throw another red one on. Take this one, the black one, the blue one, and the green one. Y'all can see the green one.
and take them to the laundromat and just pop them in there, $10 and wash them. Fuck it, I'll let her wash them. She's a good. I love her. She's never always. She's a good friend of mine. She's funny as hell. But anyway, let me give y'all some shout outs. I appreciate y'all coming in. You would think that y'all, the way I talk is hate. No, it's about people knowing the truth of history. Hey Sue, what's up, baby girl? Hey PJR, it's cracking. Guy with the hat. That's right, Sue. West Side, game over. You already know what's up, family. It's Rando, what's going on, family? I saw y'all still chatting over there, man. I get your notifications. Hey, Debbie, what's up, sugar? What's going on? Alien plus us, alienist, English, alien meaning of a different mind. Exactly. And then they alienate us from ourselves. Bang, boom. Joshua Northern, what's going on? Yeah, brother, you in the house, family. You know it. Tribe up. We all tribe, man. Equator 7. Yo, appreciate you, family. Appreciate you all. Great Wolf. Great. Glad that. Oh, it's so good to have you on the live last night, brother. Need everybody to see and hear. You know, I don't have to wipe sit down with you, man. Everybody chime in. Much love and respect. Lucius Gaines, ain't seen you, man. Good to see you. What's going on, family? Whole Foods of Montclair. Yeah, 2 years, man. Ben Rock's brother, Glenn, he worked over in the butcher, the produce, where they cut all the meat and all that shit. Anyway, me and him used to go out and hang out, smoke a blunt. He'd be jamming his mix. I play the clarinet. I play a few instruments. I just don't play right now. Tuna sax, I like to get down. I used to like to get down the harp. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Oh yeah, I'm about to hook it up. You know what I'm saying? There's another development. You can't make this stuff up. Oh, I got you up there, right? Salute to everyone. Yo, man, that's what's up, man. Evelyn Smiley, aka American Nietzsche. Yo, what's going on, sis? Yo, love it, man, love it. Appreciate you guys, man. The original Caucasians were of a Negro race, a Negro creed, more of the Grecian, of the Greece and Turkoman. Mother Swift, the official census numbers don't come out for 70 plus years. Look it up. The last official census was in the 40s. I know. But they always been lies. Very correct. Very correct. I didn't want to go all that. That's just a little so much. I'm just utilizing what they've gathered. You know what I mean? It's all lies. It's all lies. Trust me. And Billy Cooper, that's right. They don't believe anything they say anymore. They taught me that a few years. Yeah, I know that's right. Don't believe nothing they say. I know that. Herbo, what's going on? Ground elevations if you're still in the house. If you're not, I know you're busy, family. I'm about to go down here and cook. I'm about to be the quickest cook down there. Eventually, your shout outs will be longer than your readings. I'm trying to tell you, you can see it firsthand. I can see it over here. I just got a swollen sway. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yo, I love that. What's going on, man? So, hey, look. Glenn is your big brother. That's what's up. Look, I'm going to sign off. Mad love and respect. Y'all already know. Sometimes you just don't say it, but it's love y'all, my beautiful sisters, all my lasses, my maidens. And to my brothers, you already know, 2 on the 1, motherfucking salute. We got this. You hear me? It's not about hating nobody. Remember that, y'all. I must. It might seem like that, but to be assertive and stern has nothing to do with hate, man. That's an illusion. It's us telling the motherfucker what is compared to what they think is, and what they think they gonna make ain't. That's all it is. You feel me? So, mad respect and love. I'm going out here to cook this. I got to get it in, y'all. You dig what I'm saying? Nigga hungry. Oh, I'm gonna show y'all something. Real quick. So, the direction I'm gonna show y'all is where they made Star Wars, Planet of the Apes, and a few other movies. Right over that way. And I drive down there, and that's where I hang at whenever I just want to chill. And I look over there all the time. And then sometimes I drive down to Wildweek, there's water down there, and I'll walk out into the lake, and nobody's around, nobody's swimming. It's, the winter. And I'll sit out there with maybe 2 or 3 other veterans who do it, maybe leaving.
to get the cold water treatment to shock the system. You did. But anyway, mad love and respect. I'm gonna holler at y'all later.